North of Seattle, there is a house on a corner on a fall day, and inside the house, life pushes forward, whether we want it to or not.
I am in such a bad mood today that you don't want to talk to me.
How can I change that? What can I do?
Clarice Preston is 95 years old. She is surrounded by the things she loves. Her collection of chickens, an old painting of a man praying, some 8-track tapes, and pictures of her 5 kids and her grandkids and her long, full life.
Something tells me you're pretty tough.
Yes.
Is that true?
And ornery.
You're ornery.
I'm ornery.
That's her in 1945, the year she moved from a farm in South Dakota to Seattle. She's lived in this house for 67 years, through highs and lows and the steady onslaught of time.
Well, I had 2 husbands. I divorced one, and then the second one, he died in 1994.
Between husbands, for years, she was a single mother of 5.
So I worked and supported my kids by myself, and so I was kind of busy. Sometimes I had 3 jobs at one time.
She worked at Boeing and Frederick and Nelson and Children's Hospital. She was a Girl Scout leader. She carted her kids to baseball games, and now it's time to leave.
You don't know what to leave behind. You don't know what you're going to miss the most, and it's just very difficult.
Clarice is moving to a senior living home. It's not what she wants. It's not what anybody wants, but it's life. And in life, Clarice always pushes on.
I will make new friends. I will make lots of new friends.
Thank you all for coming.
There will be old friends left behind, of course, and on a sunny day, they start to arrive.
Thank you.
Clarice's 95th birthday wasn't long ago, so they called it a birthday celebration. But really, it was a goodbye from an entire neighborhood.
We wanted to come back and just tell her how much she meant to us.
And a thank you.
Pretty much all the mothers in the neighborhood have passed, the Rosses, the Costellos, the Simmons, the Bankses. You feel like she's carrying the mothers of all of us still.
With full hearts and heavy hearts, they sang a song.
Happy birthday to you.
And many more. No, not that many. Well, I'll tell you, my speech is, and I better not say it, because I'm going to cry. I don't want to leave this neighborhood. I don't want to leave, but I have to, I guess.
And when the day arrived, Clarice didn't want to face it.
How am I doing? Well, I'm sad beyond being sad, This morning I got up and cried. I did. I just laid there in bed and cried. Yes.
But she did face it, as she knew she must. Her chickens were wrapped up by her grandchildren and packed away. She looked at some photos.
This is John, this little guy here, that's John.
And watched as 67 years were taken out of her home and packed up in a truck. And then late in the afternoon, brave and dignified, Clarice emerged one last time from the place where she spent all those Christmases and birthdays, where she laughed and cried and raised her kids and all the other things that make up a long, rich lifetime.
It's been such a trying day. I don't know whether I'm coming or going, but I think I'm going.
She climbed into the car with the help of her son John, and as it pulled away, Clarice stuck her arm out and let out a yell. And plowed ahead with life. I'm going to say some hard things about this place, not because I don't like Seattle, but because I love it. And I'm going to start by saying this. Seattle no longer feels the need to stop anyone from doing anything for any reason at any time. The most stunning city in America is dying, all right. Businesses and citizens have been largely abandoned, left to fend for themselves in favor of a self-congratulatory compassion, a phony grace. If you shout long enough, Seattle will give you what you want. We'll abandon a police precinct, an entire chunk of the city, and all the people that live and work there. All of it is yours for the taking if you shout long enough. If you want to live somewhere, anywhere, and if you want to pile up garbage and waste and filth, you can do that too. Parks, street corners, neighborhood nooks and crannies, have at it. You think Seattle's going to stop you? We'll even do away with the navigation team, just to make sure. Feeling artistic? You're in luck. Seattle is your canvas. Have at it. Express yourself. Nobody's going to stop you from leaving temporary scars on the psyche of a damaged city. They're too busy reimagining. If you want to keep using the drugs that are killing you, we'll help out. We'll give you needles. We'll order the cops not to make arrests. We'll legalize hard narcotics on our streets. We will stand by and watch as you kill yourself, because Seattle no longer feels the need to stop anyone from doing anything for any reason. And if you want to go out into the communities and businesses, stealing all day long to get the drugs that are killing you, we won't stop you, or rehabilitate you, or intervene in any meaningful way. And when the citizens demand protection and the businesses say who's looking out for us, we'll shut down the county jail and the juvenile detention center because we're so forward-thinking. We'll run the chief of police out of town and hope that bad people stop doing bad things because we're so very good. We'll stop prosecuting criminal behavior. Heck, we won't even file charges so it doesn't show up in the crime stats. We'll handcuff the police and beat down the judges who step out of line. If you want to intimidate the leaders who voice objections, who's going to stop you? Seattle? Come on. We'll doggedly plow ahead with a reckless experiment that is systematically ruining what used to be the best place to live in America. And that, all of it, is at the very heart of the fight for the soul of Seattle. The fact that we no longer feel the need to stop anyone from doing anything for any reason at any time. Anthony Schmidt is 12 years old. He has been granted the gift of obsession. He is capable of a singular focus. His eye for detail boggles the mind. These gifts have come to him in the form of autism.
So what autism does is, thoughts come into your mind fast.
Yeah.
And then their brains are all like numbers, and they like numbers and even things.
I think in autism there's a lot of anxiety that people experience. So they use their special interests kind of as a calming mechanism.
Anthony has a special interest. It is cars.
So today, this is my car collection. So I have out here to out here.
Oh my goodness.
And then I even have still some in the windows.
All kinds of cars. He wraps up his world in cars. They're in his drawers and in his closet. There are pictures of cars on the walls. There are cars on shelves, old cars and new ones, separated by era.
Like this is the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s, and then the 70s. Or over here.
His eye for detail is such that he can tell you the model and make of almost every car ever made.
You see a car.
I can name it.
For real.
What's that car?
It's a Chevrolet Bel Air,
What year?
1957.
What's that car?
The Chevrolet Nomad, which has the same 1957, and this is the same front end.
Downstairs, there's a collection of posters that he loves.
1941 Plymouth pickup. You have the 1886 Carl Benz.
And he likes seeing old cars in natural settings, like this 32 Ford Coupe. Only, it's not a natural setting, is it? It's all an illusion, created from this amazing boy's mind. Those pictures on the wall in his bedroom, the pictures downstairs, Anthony took those pictures. None of them are real cars. They are from his collection of models. It happens like this. Anthony has a little workshop. He goes over the models, makes them look rusty sometimes, paints on patina. On this day, Anthony shows up at a park with a box. His mom and assistant, Ramona, follows with a toy barn. He finds a spot.
Okay, here we go.
He proceeds to create a scene, a barn in a field surrounded by forgotten classic automobiles.
Ford Fairlane, a Porsche 356B, a Mercury Turnpike, Chevrolet Impala.
He looks and thinks. When the perspective is perfect, the scale spot on, he takes his pictures, and the little world he's created comes roaring to life.
It's truly because of the autism. It's not despite the autism, it's because of it.
Ramona started sharing his pictures some time back. The reaction was overwhelming. She started a Facebook page, and the followers came in droves.
There's like 142,000 of them.
Wow. With the help of a Kickstarter campaign, they made a book. It's beautiful and has sold 1,000 copies. Look at the art that exists because of one boy's gift of obsession. Look at what Anthony has been able to create.
Okay.
Not long ago, a police department in New York sent Anthony this picture. It was from a crime scene. They couldn't identify the make and model of the car.
I can just tell by the wheels and the wheel style and the rear windshield. The windows on the back always has that scoop. And I said it's a 2007 Mercury Montego.
The crime was solved. An arrest was made.
Oh wait, and this is Nardoland?
Yeah.
There was a place in Maltby called Nardoland. Ron Nardoni, the man who owns it, loves the 1950s, and he has created a life-sized illusion in much the same way that Anthony has created miniature ones.
How long have you liked cars? All your life?
Yes.
Cool.
We arranged for the two of them to meet. The results were magical.
This is a 38 Chev,
Old pickup right there.
a 67.
I have more vehicles than you can imagine.
Oh, yeah. See, look at them
Oh,
all.
you have an old Buick Roadmaster?
Yeah.
About how many would you say you have?
Oh, I don't know. I never counted them, buddy.
But one question in here. Which one's your favorite in
Oh,
here?
God, I don't know. That'd be hard to pick, I guess.
Same deal with me. I can't choose favorites.
You're a good guy, buddy. I'm sure glad you came. See me.
You have amazed people with your art and your knowledge,
That's good.
and you've shown people that a guy with autism can kick butt, right?
Yeah, he can do, yes, and then you can set your mind to whatever you want.
Things are not always what they seem, like a car on a gravel road, like a kid with a disability. If Anthony teaches us anything, it's that we must look closer, try to understand more, that we should pay attention to nuance, and that the rough patches, the irregularities, even perceived flaws, are what make old cars, and sometimes young, obsessed, creative boys, flawless.